Glad to know you stay with us. It's Star Corner right now with Aicer Baby. Aicer Baby, by the way, is right here with us in the studio. Good to have you join us today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be here too. It's a pleasure.
Are you this gentle naturally, or it's just because of this interview?
No, I'll be gentle boy like that.
Anyways, good morning. It's
Morning,
good to have you here.
Me too.
Aicer Baby, why the name? That sounds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Aicer is actually a name I created for myself, for my brand.
okay.
Aicer is actually a top, it's a top card in the game.
Yeah, it is.
You know, that they call it Aicer Diamond. So I like infuse it to the music genre. Like I'm always the number one, you know, the top card, the top boy.
I like that.
Top
So where
boy.
did the baby come from?
Baby, naturally for the ladies.
I hope you will change it at some point to Aicer Man.
I'm not. I never took a tattoo of that.
Because someone changed from kid to you know,
No.
from Whiskey to Big Wiz. So hope at some point we won't have Aicer Man, you know, or Big Aicer.
Wiz is still the kid, yeah. Wiz is still Wizkid. Wiz is still Wizkid.
All right. So Aicer Baby, talk to us about the brand. Who is Aicer Baby?
Aicer Baby is a professional performing artist,
Okay.
an Afrobeat artist.
Okay.
Actually loves music a lot. Makes different sound. He's actually an artist that wants to bring Afrobeat on different genres, not just the Afrobeat alone, not just Afro pop alone. I want to do Afrobeat on drills. I want to do Afrobeat on hip hop, on trap music. Like I want Afrobeat to be a single genre outside, like in the world, everywhere in the world. I want to bring out a new sound.
You said you have many sounds.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. Does it mean you mentioned trap the other time? Do you rap also?
Yeah, what I said is I don't rap actually. What I mean is I make Afrobeat myself.
Oh, like a producer?
Yes, no, not a producer. Like I'm an artist. I sing Afrobeat.
Okay.
Like my sound is Afrobeat.
Oh,
the song I make is Afrobeat. So I'm trying to bring that magic into other genres, like as other kind of music, like trap, drill. Like I want Afrobeat everywhere in the world.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
I want Afrobeat everywhere in the world.
I'll take you up on that later. Let's start from the background. How did music start? Usually it's either from the church or the mosque, you know,
actually,
or from school.
Actually, my music started from school and secondly in the church.
Okay.
In the school, I have this group, FBM Boys, Fresh Boys Movement, you know.
FBM.
Yeah,
Fresh Boys Movement.
I like that. I like that.
Like we move our steez around and, you know, we try to make everybody know, yeah, we single, you understand? And at a point in church, I joined the choir in the church. And
Of your own doing, or
like
mom and dad had to like
mom and dad actually, you know, church thing now. I believe I'm gonna be a gospel artist someday.
Okay.
But they allowed me to be a choir in the church, you know, working for God, you know, that thing now. So I was a choir in the church with my guys, and we're like about three guys like that. Banji, shout out to Jegede, shout out to Tolu Boy, and we used to run the thing together in the church. And at the point, my pastor was like, "You, what this boy is doing?" And something big. Okay. So he had to convince my dad. He has to convince my dad. My dad was actually very, very strict with me on this music thing. He never wanted this to happen. It was hard for him. He had to go out of his own will.
Okay. He wanted you to pursue a different
He wanted
line.
me to be a doctor, a lawyer, yeah, an engineer, an accountant. But my mom was like, Baba, so my mom tried. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my dad. At the point, he supported me. It was a big. Now my dad is a big support. He's my biggest supporter. He's my biggest fan.
That's great.
God bless that man.
Talking about, I mean, you started from secondary school with a group, you know. We know quite well with secondary school, it's probably you're performing during the break time, beating the desk, you're singing just to your classmates.
Making noise.
Making noise. Yeah, trying to come up with music.
Yes.
At what point did it become like serious business? Was it when you got into university that you now began to probably perform at departmental events, faculty events, or even school events?
Actually, it became a big business when I was in SS2.
Oh, okay.
Because that was then I had my first record.
Okay.
Giddy Girl, a cover by Whiskey.
Wizkid, okay.
I did a cover. That was my first voicing in the studio. That was my first record. Then at the point I did another one. I did Shade, and I did Seriously. That was when it became a very big deal for me. Like that was when I like.
Shade cover by Declan Gold. That was okay.
Like Shade, a single.
Single.
My
Okay.
first ever single. Then that was when it became a very big business. Like I took it very seriously. And
You were in secondary school, so
Yes, I
how
was
did the
in-
funds? Was it your parents?
Yeesh. My mom, nah, not my parent, not my dad, because my dad is not really, you know, he's not really
You had to
like
fund
that.
it
It's
yourself.
not financially buoyant.
So more reason why he doesn't want me to do the music thing.
Okay.
You understand? But I and my guys, the FBM boys, you know, just walk around, hustle around, you know,
Okay.
just hustle around and get ourselves into the studio. And that's how
you started.
I started.
Okay, that's quite a journey, really. The beauty about it is, at first there was that, you know, reluctance
Yes.
and seemingly rejection, but at some point, you know, your parents came on board and you have their blessing,
They
which
saw the light here.
is great. So let's talk about the music now. You said SS2, you had the first single, Shade.
Yes.
You had Seriously as well. What has been the reception since SS2 till now, in terms of secondary school, university? How has that journey been?
Man, it has been tough. Honestly, it has been ups and downs.
Okay.
There have been win, there have been loss, a lot, mostly loss. Secondary school, making music when I was in SS2, it was quite hard for me because I was still little. I was still very small, you know, still had this small face, small stature. I had to trek from Alagbadu to Mero.
Oh.
This area just to get into the studio.
Okay.
I had to convince my dad. Period when I would have these street shows and street jams, for my dad to leave me outside
To go
overnight, you know, it was serious. And I myself, I was like, yo, am I not running too fast? You know, like I was feeling like I'm too small for this thing. I was scared at the point. I was so afraid at the point, but I had this vibe. And I was just doing it. Then my secondary school days was a little bit easy. I met Adidot, I met Ibrahim, now he's in Canada now. I met new friends, you know, that like patched me up when I got to university. That patched me, like raised me up, and that's Ibrahim. Shout out to Ibrahim. Shout out to Adidot. Adidot actually made me know his brother, LEX. I don't know if you know LEX.
Oh, Zazu.
Zaza.
rather.
Zaza, actually.
Zaza, okay.
I worked with Zaza. We made a song. He actually jumped on my song. Come on. It's out everywhere, but the featuring is not out. It's just like we are still planning to bring the song.
Nice
So
one.
during university, it was quite easy because the sound has changed. It has improved. It's matured already, and God made it possible.
Absolutely. Now, apart from this feature you have with LAX, what other features are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I really want to work with Buju.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benson.
Yeah, I really want to work with Buju Benson.
PXNX.
I want to work with Wiz someday. And I want another job with LAX. Man, that bro is fire. That bro is
Talking
fire.
about, features, again, you have to be decisive when you go about such collaborations. You don't just want to do it because everyone is doing it or because it's someone who is a big name. You're looking at how the person can complement your sound, and just also give you room for expression without having to, overshadow in that sense. So how do you go about targeting, collaborations? Are you looking at people who sound like you, who have, the same music goal in terms of thematic expressions? Are you looking at those who can hop on your sound? Not everyone can explore different beats, different genres. So if you are someone who doesn't flirt with different genres, are you looking at someone who is probably strictly into Afrobeats?
No, not really. You know, I said earlier, I made mention of bringing Afrobeat into different genres, like drills, trap, hip-hop, probably Westlife too as well.
Okay.
There's this thing Buju is doing these days, man. He jumps on every beat now, and he's an Afrobeat artist. He jumps on every beat. There's this thing Zaza is doing earlier. Shout out to him. He jumps on every beat. There was a time I and Zaza was actually working in the studio and he was actually helping on one particular Ama piano beat, man. That bro was fire on it. So those bros, those superstars, they actually have what, like they are actually seeing what I'm saying when it comes to infusing Afrobeat to other genres, like making it certified everywhere, all over the world. There's this statement Wiz made. He said, if he can do it, then we can do better. I feel like Wiz is trying to tell us there's still more to what he's doing.
Apparently.
The way he's shining, there's still more. It's not finished yet. So that's one word I held on to ever since I started music. I was like, if Wiz can actually do this, if he can cover a lot of billboards, if he can be the first African artist to be on American top 100, then Aicer Baby can actually do this too, even more.
Yeah, okay. So, Aicer Baby, what would you say has been maybe the challenges you've had to go through?
Yeah, man. Actually, the challenges I have to go through is getting myself new songs, getting myself new record, getting myself to the label, pushing myself as an independent artist is very, very tough. It's not easy. That's one thing that actually gets me depressed.
Oh, please. Okay, so as an independent artist, beg your pardon, as an independent artist, maybe generally now, what are the challenges they face? Is it finance? But as an independent artist, if you have the finance, does that solve all your problem?
Not really, actually. Not the financial aspect alone. Support. This industry, you might have money and you still don't blow.
Okay.
You need people to turn up for you, not just money alone. You need people to turn up for you. Well, money too, financial aspect, you need to spend. This industry, you need to spend. You need to spend money.
But with the rise of DSPs, I mean, the crave for getting on labels has reduced because you have the ability to put your music out there, and digital streaming platforms will do the job for you. You don't have to rely on the label for promotion and all of that. Gone were days where you have to spend money. The label takes the artist to virtually every top media house, be it radio or TV, just to publicize. Now, with social media, that's easier. As I said, the DSPs are there as well. So how do you think that changes the game, not just on the Nigerian music scene or internationally, but also for artists that fast rising like yourself?
Yeah, that's true. It actually changes the fact that everyone can actually get in touch with you on your handle, your social media platform. Everybody can get to know what you're doing. You don't actually need a record label.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to need a record label. You don't need to get a record label that will push you around, take you, go there, go there. No. By getting yourself into every platform, being on every platform and being reached, that you are able to get reached out to, and people can reach out to you. I'm sure they'll definitely work with your brand, and people want to work with you. By that, everybody showing love by that, people get to know you. People start giving you jobs, bringing jobs to you, wanting to work with you, giving you deals to sign, and things that will push you up, and and on the long run, you become a famous artist.
Okay, let's talk about the labels now. There have always been disputes over time, between the artist and the labels concerning certain contracts or clauses in the contract and all of that. I think most recently has to be Mobad and the Malians. How do you think that affects the chances of fast rising artists? Because it looks like they are just desperate to get onto a label, get signed to a label without having to really understand the terms and clauses in that contract. Then where's the place of creativity, a bit of freedom? Because it looks like the labels sometimes tend to change. They want the artist to sound a particular way just for commercial purposes only, and you can't blame them. They're in there for profit.
Definitely. So what I just feel like is what I feel like labels should do is just, they should try to give every artist the freedom to express whatever they're doing. That's the main reason why you brought your contract to them. Like, that's why you're taking your contract to them. It's what you saw at first. Why don't you just help them build it?
Okay.
You need to change it. Okay, fine, you're spending, you're the one, you know, trying to get the profit of what you're doing. You know, at the same time, you're trying to bring them out. Yeah, you're spending and you're doing all sort of things. Like, but what's the purpose of you going to them when you're seeing something in them? Like, you actually saw something in them. That was why you brought your contract to them. Okay, take it, let me sign you. You're actually good. You understand? So why are you doing that? And at the end of the day, you will tell him to change. There is something you're saying. Why don't you focus on what you saw? You get, like, why don't you focus on that boy, what he's doing, how he sounds, what he's doing, literally. You focus on that, you know, help build the brand more, like help make it mature instead of trying to change him. I think that will actually affect even the mental health of the artist himself, because there's this vibe we have when he's recording in the studio. He won't be able to express himself, and I don't think that's good. Okay. The artist's creativity, like his individual creativity, matters the more. I would give an artist individual creativity a 70%. Because this is why you are meeting him. This is why you know him. This is why people are actually, you know, trying to be around him, wanting to know him more, wanting to get more sound, more songs from him. So why don't you focus on that his own, you know, like creativity? Like, let's build it. Let's make it mature. It might actually not be sounding, you know, perfect yet, but in the long run, definitely. We started somehow. Now everybody now, Superstar that we dropped some couple of years back to Made in Lagos now, it's different. Like, it's a different vibe.
Different sound.
Aicer to Superstar is different. More love, let's see, go to
Sounds from the Other Side
is different. Like, it's actually getting mature every day. Okay, there was a way I used to sound before, you know, I myself, I know I'm not yet mature, you know, but in the long run, when I keep recording daily, I listen to a lot of music, like older music too, like most of the time older music. Like, I listen to Ebenezer Obey too as well, like Pasoma, I listen to all those guys. So my sound intends to change, you know. Before, you know, I start having new ideas. You don't have to change my creativity. You
just
don't have
open
to.
it up to
Yes, you don't have to.
basically.
With time, it will change. The ideas start coming in. Before, you know, you start doing. Even I myself, like, I start feeling like, wow, am I the one doing this thing? Because, like, the thinking aspect, the creativity aspect, everything, mental aspect is opening. It's getting wider.
Okay, I know you've mentioned Wizkid a couple of times, I mean, during the course of this conversation, but who would you say inspires you, or who are the artists that inspire you the most in this industry, whether Nigerian or other countries?
Actually, there are quite lots of artists that actually inspired me. Like, there is no major core artist that, like, gingered me to want to do music. I grew up listening to Nice. I grew up listening to Two-Face, Don Jazzy, Wande Cole. Then at the point this young artist came, Wiz. I'll give it to him because it's not like he gingered me. You understand? Not like I'm not doing music because of Wiz. But for the fact that Wiz is a young boy when he blew, like, he was young and doing it, like he was so young and he was shining, like he was pulling shows outside the country, aside from Lagos. He was doing big things, he was doing beautiful things at that tender age. So that inspired me a lot. Shout out to David too. Shout out to Olamide. Those guys were young and they were doing, like, they actually gave us the vibe that we can actually do it. They give us this vibe that these guys, you can do it. Like, if we can do it from a tender age, from a young youth age, and you guys can do it too. So that was what boosted the vibe.
Okay.
Like, okay, music, I'm doing it.
Let's talk about your music now, creative wise. How do you get your sessions in place? You script first before you voice, or you get the beat and then from there you just vibe to the beat and something drops?
Actually, I just go to the studio and whatever the producer gives me
As a beat, you just
as a
vibe
beat,
to it.
and it needs to be very, very nice. The beat needs to be very nice. Then I just voice.
Okay.
Just
so
like that,
Yeah,
no
just
pre-written lines,
No,
nothing.
I don't write. I just vibe.
What
Can we-
inspires?
can we get
no,
something?
it will definitely give us a freestyle. What inspires the song? I know sometimes you get certain you hear certain beats and you begin to vibe to it. You're feeling like, okay, maybe you're at the club and you just begin to voice in that sense. But if the beat is not the danceable type, or it's not the one that you can vibe to in terms of a club music, how do you get creative? What inspires you to also sing maybe a love themed beat or what have you?
Yeah, on beats like that, I really don't want to answer that question, but I don't have a chance because I actually just meditate, and on beats like that, I just meditate on heartbreaks. You get?
No. It's okay,
Yeah, right.
because with creatives most times they have to dip to the dark side.
So when he says heartbreaks,
get
like
creative.
heartbreaks that you have experienced,
I don't want
or other people's heartbreaks, I want to
really don't want
understand.
to- Actually, I experienced that one.
Oh.
Let me tell
It's
you.
fine. No, it's fine. It's all right. Breakfast goes round. Anyways, let's talk about your music. Do you have a project out in terms of maybe an EP? Are we looking at an EP coming in soon, or an album?
Okay, 2 days ago on the 30th last month,
Okay.
I dropped a single,
Oh, interesting.
Joe.
Okay.
It's actually a banger.
People should just watch it.
What's the inspiration behind the track?
Joe was just the vibe I was having in the studio. Like, I actually just came out from the club that day
Okay.
with Zaza. I
Okay.
just came out from the club and I was still feeling this club vibe now. I was like, okay,
Okay,
still
Joe
wanna
dance, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I still
Joe
wanna dance. Then Puffy Beats, shout out to Puffy. Puffy Beats is in UK. And he sent me some couple of beats and I heard the beat. I was like, wow.
I can
This
vibe
is
to
nice,
one of
bro.
this.
This is my vibe, man. Just if then I meet Joe. That was how Joe came to the
Okay.
limelight. And I'm dropping a EP very soon.
Oh, that's
ASAP,
great.
baby. I'm working on my EP very soon.
How many tracks are we looking at?
Probably 4. Just 4.
Oh,
You
any
don't have a
features or
title
strictly
yet?
you?
Strictly ASAP, baby.
Okay.
Strictly ASAP, baby.
That's
And I'm actually on my mind.
That's nice. Anyways, let's talk about Nigerian music industry. I mean, the industry is growing in leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
When you talk about Nigeria on the map, Afrobeat to the world, you have
for
the
life.
Whiskey, Davido, Burna Boy, all projecting
Shout out to them.
that movement, as it were. You still have others, Fireboy, Rema,
Shout out to those, bro.
the frontliners now. How do you think this global acceptance now of Afrobeat, Nigerian music, and Nigerian superstars, how do you think that affects the Nigerian markets back home, especially abroad as well? Because now you have more people overseas in tune to Nigerian music and trying to stream and all of that. How do you think it affects the music industry here?
Yeah, actually, it's bringing more awareness of Nigeria,
Okay.
Africa, like our sound, Afrobeat in general, not just abroad, but the whole of Africa wants to do what we do here in Lagos. What Fireboy, what Buju is doing, what Wiz is doing, what Burna Boy. Everybody wants to sing with these people. Like, even in the US, in the UK, abroad entirely, everybody wants to sing with these bros. Like, everybody wants to work with these people. And I feel the influence of that on Nigerian music is opening more doors.
Okay.
It's opening more doors for the fast rising artists too as well. It's opening more doors to everybody, inspiring to do music. If you want to do music, there's always a door open for you. There's always chances.
Okay.
So I think it's bringing the country forward too as well. Like it's
Okay.
bringing the country to the front too.
Okay.
All right. Earlier you said something about having a feature. You're having LAX, LAX. Yeah. You want to talk about it? Have you released it? When are you planning to release it? Will it be part of the EP? Oh, you already said you want to go solo on the EP.
Yeah.
So you mind talking about it?
Yeah, I would like to talk about it. That's how I'm waiting for you. Let's drop this song.
Oh, okay.
Let's drop this song. Cool.
That reminds me, how does that work? You know, oftentimes with, I mean, I know Wizkid is, you know, said to do that a lot. He releases tons of music, hundreds in
Yes.
fact, and he decides when he wants to release them. Sometimes he may not even release them till the world ends as well. So in terms of collaborations, because now you're making it seem like Zaza is the one yet to give the green light for you to drop that song.
Yes.
And I want to believe you own the song, you featured him on it.
Yes.
So how does it work with collaborations? Is it the owner of the song that calls the shots, or you have to like seemingly, you know, seek the green light from the fellow artist on the song as well before you now release it?
Yes, firstly, I want to remind everybody I'm an upcoming artist.
No, it doesn't matter. We had the incident of Rema and DJ Neptune.
Yeah.
Where Rema, you know, talked about DJ Neptune owned the song,
without him, yeah.
but Rema blasted him that he
Yes,
said it
you're
wasn't
right.
good enough or something like that. So
I feel like these people, you have to get a license from them before
Okay.
they put their brand outside
okay,
with yours, if they're comfortable with it.
Okay.
Deep down, they might not be comfortable with it. Actually, it's not like Zaza is not comfortable with me dropping the song, but Zaza is very busy now.
okay.
He's a busy man, he's on tour.
And it doesn't matter, it's a chart, man.
Yeah, definitely, but you know,
Even if
this
it will
thing-
take a week, he will respond.
yeah,
okay,
this
drop.
thing I don't want us to rush.
Okay,
You get? I think he as well doesn't want us to rush.
okay.
He's got plans too.
Even though they rush.
Even if
Okay.
even if he's rushing,
Uh-huh.
even if he's rush, actually. So Zaza doesn't want to rush as well. So I think it's a slow and steady thing. Once it's time, it will definitely work out.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not actually just one song.
Mm,
Oh.
It's a song still. We go
Nice.
to.
Oh, that's nice.
So, for the fact that I need to drop that song, I have to seek one or two licenses from him.
Apparently, okay.
So I just can't go on doing my
Doing your
thing.
thing,
So I
okay.
have to wait for him.
So, Aicer Baby 2023, we're expecting an EP.
Definitely. Definitely.
Are we looking at, beyond the EP now, we're looking at further collaborations down the line?
Yes. Mostly with Zaza.
Okay, okay.
Can't do that.
Because I like him. I love Zaza. I love him.
Yeah, but aren't you thinking of other people, or is
No,
it
you
is the
mentioned
challenge?
Benson,
Yeah, I mean,
you mentioned,
yeah.
you know, some other artists earlier.
Buju,
Have you made the
Wiz,
move, or you just
David.
have you made the move?
I'm making the move. I entered this guy's DM.
Okay.
Yeah, they should help me. I made the move slow, but
Well,
we're working
you
towards
just
it.
have to
Yeah,
keep
sure.
up. I mean,
Yeah.
we've heard of stories where Ashake once said he was, you know, reaching out to them, they didn't
For
get a
2 years
response
or something, yeah.
for 2 years until, you know, that breakthrough comes.
So
So
shout out to Ashake.
you just do your thing. I'm sure with
Definitely.
time you definitely get the attraction.
Most definitely.
Exactly. You definitely freestyle for us. You want to take him on a career challenge first before he does that?
Yeah, I like
Or you
to
sing?
style
Okay,
first.
sing for us.
Yeah,
Sing
because
for
you said you jump on beat. I wish I could do that. You know, box music or something.
Jukebox.
It's quite easy though. It's quite easy.
Okay, so just sing anything for us, something nice.
Okay.
You want to
Now,
give him a line to turn into a song, or
No, let
just
him
wants
just
to
do this.
flow.
I just
Just-
want to
just
sing.
flow.
give you a little. Now one thing we go cause wahala. If you leave my side, don't want your palava. Now one thing we make I leave your banana. Now my love Tuesday make I love my cassava. Yo. So don't touch, don't go slow. To that girl when they can see me go slow. Even though my guys they want toast, my baby put them on a bench, shake the cut. Well, I'm never leaving, baby. You are never leaving. Come easy with me, baby. Let's go and visit.
Now I know why you like Zaza, because to a large extent you sound like Zaza, although you do not have the raga that comes with his voice. You know, he is that kind of an artist like that. We saw him on Carol with Wizkid.
Yes,
There was Ginger as well. So there's that, you know, baseline similarity between you guys in terms of, you know, the tonation and all. But I can understand. Immediately you started singing, I just smiled like, okay, now I understand why there's that, you know, there's that vibe with
Yeah.
Zaza, exactly. It's good to hear you sound this way. I think you have a good voice, though.
Thank you
You know,
very much.
Actually.
I think so, because this is you freestyling, no beats, no instrumental,
It's pure.
and you're able
Fine.
to sound this way. By the time you now get into the studio and you have all of that mixing, mastering, beats, instrumentals, it will definitely be a very good track. So
Thank you.
we can only wish you the very best and hope
Thank you
that
very much.
we get to hear great sounds from you in the
Absolutely.
coming months.
By the grace
Just
of
before
God.
we go, if you weren't into music, what would you have been doing?
I've been an accountant.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, lady. You know that. So you like money, you now count money and balance books and all of
Tell
that.
you, I love money.
Okay. Well, correct.
Okay.
And apart from that, what else?
Probably.
You don't like football. You didn't even have interest in pursuing
You
that
know, once in a while I play football, but I'm not a football freak.
because you have the physique.
I'm not a football freak. Even till today, my guys used to tell me, "Oh boy, now. You know how to play football now."
Even esports, you know, your
No, I play FIFA. I play games. Like,
Okay.
I'm a gamer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So apart from accounting, what else can you do?
Aside from accounting, can do music.
Okay, it's
Just
fine.
leave
It's
it
fine.
there.
That's fine.
That's fine. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
today.
for having me. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll take a break now. When we come back, well, the show continues. Stay with us.